blown. I'm going to let you in on a little secret that not a lot of people know. I had no idea that you could do this. So that's something that I really wish I had known in years past. Hey guys, it's KJ. Welcome to my channel. Today I am sharing with you my top tips for going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. John and I have been to the Christmas party at Disney with kids and without kids. So my tips are good for those of you who do have kids and for those of you who do not have kids. I will throw in some tips there that are specific to folks who do have some little ones, toddlers, preschoolers, babies. But like I said, this video will be for anyone who wants to go to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. If you guys like today's video, I would love for you to give it a big thumbs up. It really helps support the channel. And if you're new and you like the content, I would love to have you subscribe. So without further ado, let's jump into the video and I will tell you all of my tips for going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. My first tip has to do with before you even go to the party. So if you can be flexible on your dates, I would recommend going to one of the earlier parties. Usually the earlier in the season you go, the cheaper the tickets are. There is one exception. Thanksgiving week, the prices do go up, but then they come back down a little bit after Thanksgiving. So before you go to Disney, again, if your dates can be flexible, try to go earlier in the season because the tickets are less expensive. Also, if you can be flexible with your dates, if you do have a little one that has a birthday later in the year like I do, I would recommend going before their third birthday and keeping in line with if your dates can be flexible. If you have a little one who is 2 turning 3 and it just so happens their birthday is November or December and you can be flexible with those dates, try to go before your little one turns 3 because they will be free when going to the party. We've taken our kids when they were under the age of 3 and you can get your kids in free. Just like they can get into the parks for free, they can get into the Christmas party for free. So definitely if you are flexible on those dates and your child just happens to have a birthday at the end of the year, make sure you go before they turn 3. Or if you're on the fence about going and you have a little one and they're under the age of 3, your kids are free, so I would definitely recommend going before your kids turn 3. They will love it. They will enjoy it. Disney is fun for all ages, even your little ones. My now 2-year-old went for the first time when he was 3 months old, and he loved it. And he was only 3 months old, but he loved the colors and loved everything about Disney. There wasn't a Christmas party at that time, but my point is he still loved Disney, so bring your little ones. They will love it. My next tip is to get there early. The party starts at 7, but you can actually get into the park at 4. So if you only have a party ticket, you could actually get into the park at 4 o'clock. If you're someone like me who is a cast member or you're an annual pass holder or just have a park hopper or just a ticket for Magic Kingdom for that day and you're there even earlier, that's great. But I would definitely recommend getting there by 4 o'clock. So now in that 4 to 7 window before the party starts, there are a few things that I would suggest you do. The first thing is to make sure you get your party bracelets. You can get those starting at 4 o'clock, so make sure you talk to a cast member. They will let you know where you can pick them up. A lot of times they have a few stations throughout the park, so you can get them before the party even starts. Next, I would say to eat in this window. Definitely eat in the 4 to 7 window. Don't waste precious party time after 7 o'clock eating dinner. Eat dinner early. Eat at 4 o'clock. You can always grab a snack later. They have unique snacks for the party, so you can always grab one of those. But definitely eat early. You don't want to waste party time. We've done that before. Learn from my mistakes. This was years ago, John and I, before we had kids. I think we did it. I can't remember if it was the Christmas party or Halloween party, but we wasted time eating dinner. The lines are so long and we wasted like, I don't even know, like 45 minutes to an hour of party time because the lines to get food at Cosmic Rays was like literally out the door. So do yourself a favor, grab a quick serve, get yourself some food, and then just snack later on. My next tip for this 4 to 7 window is if your kids haven't already napped, see if they'll rest during this time. Last year when we went to the Halloween party, our kids finally fell asleep around 3:30 when we were heading back to the parks, which was great because then they fell asleep. They took a nap for like 2 hours, so they were raring to go for the party. So I wouldn't say skip nap time, but if you think you can get your kids to nap later on in the day so that they have more energy for later at night, I would recommend doing that. My biggest tip for the 4 to 7 window is to get in line early for your favorite characters, especially if you have a little one who really wants to see a character. Get in line early. You can actually get in line before the party starts. Last year for the Halloween party, we got in line for Minnie, Donald, and Daisy. We got in line around like 6:30 and we were able to wait in line. Our kids were still napping, which was great, but we got in line early. The same would apply for the Christmas party. And by the time 7 o'clock rolled around, we waited about 10 minutes to actually meet the characters. So you're not wasting that precious party time. Yes, you're still waiting, but you're not waiting during that party time window. And another tip to go along with that, if you don't really care which characters you are meeting, you just want to meet as many characters as you can, I would say look for the meet and greets that have multiple characters. So that meet and greet was great for Halloween. For Christmas, they do something similar, like you can meet Ariel and Eric during the Christmas party. Now the characters change or could change from year to year. A lot of times they have the same characters, but a few will change here and there. So if you know which lines are meeting multiple characters, definitely hit up those lines because you're waiting, the same amount of time, but you're knocking out like anywhere from 2 to 4 characters. Now, sticking with characters, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that not a lot of people know. This is actually something that I didn't know till I think last year or the year before. I guess last year because they didn't have the Christmas party 2 years ago. But did you know that you can actually meet characters, certain characters, before the party even starts? My mind was blown. I had no idea. Of all the years that we've been going to Disney, of all the years that we've been doing the Christmas party and Halloween parties, I had no idea that you could do this. Now, the most popular characters at both the Halloween and Christmas parties are always Jack and Sally. Years ago, John and I met Jack and Sally back before they were meeting in Town Square. They were meeting at the gazebo behind the Christmas shop, and they told us, I remember we got in line, maybe the party had just started, maybe it was like 7:30, and they told us, oh, it's only like a 10-minute wait. Well, it was a 45-minute wait, and let me tell you something, this was years ago. This was probably in like 2016, 2017, something like that. I'll leave it down here and let you know what year it actually was, but that was a few years ago now, and now the lines for Jack and Sally can be up to like 2 or 3 hours. Like, it gets crazy. So back then we thought 45 minutes was so long. That's not long, you guys. Now, if Jack and Sally are a priority for you, you can get in line for them starting at 4 o'clock, and then they start meeting at 4:30. So again, if you don't want to miss precious party time and Jack and Sally are a priority for you, get in line early. You can get in the parks at 4 o'clock regardless of what type of ticket you have, as long as you have a party ticket. Get your bracelet, get in line, or send someone to get your bracelets, and then you get in line at 4 o'clock. And then this way at 4:30, you can start meeting them. And even if you're spending like a couple of hours during that time, it's not during precious party time. So that's something that I really wish I had known in years past, because I definitely would have done that last year when we went to the Christmas party and Halloween party. Another popular group of characters are the Winnie the Pooh characters. They actually start meeting at 6:30. So if you want to get in line, probably like 5:30, you probably would want to get in line. I mean, you're gonna wait anyway, so I'd say get in line early for that, as early as the cast members will let you, because you're going to meet Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, and Eeyore. So it's 4 characters you can knock out before the party even starts. Now, last year in 2022, Moana was another character that you can meet before the party started, and that was at 5:30. Now that you can meet her in Animal Kingdom, my guess is that you won't be able to meet her in Magic Kingdom, at least not early for the party. So I would check with the cast member, since the parties haven't started yet. I would definitely check with a cast member to see what characters will be meeting before the party starts, where you can line up to meet them, and what time you can start lining up, and what time they actually start meeting people. My next tip is to check the weather before you go. So when we went to Disney in 2021, there wasn't a Christmas party, but we were there during Christmas, and we were hoping for it to be cold, like not cold, but like in the 60s. We had made our sweatshirts. We made these gingerbread sweatshirts that we never got to wear, like Mickey gingerbread sweatshirts that John and I were very excited to wear, and we never got to wear them because it never got cold enough, not even at night. However, we went last year in 2022. We were there during Christmas time, and it was freezing. It was in like the high 50s or maybe low 60s, but it was like, it got into the high 50s some of those nights. And let me tell you something, here in the Northeast, if it is in the 50s in December, that's like warm. Like, let's go outside and get some fresh air. But for some reason in Florida, the 50s and 60s feel like it's like below zero. I don't know why. It just feels so much colder there. So definitely check the weather, pack accordingly. For the Christmas party last year, I had several layers on. I had a sweatshirt on, and then I had a zip up over that, and a t-shirt, and a long sleeve t-shirt. I was freezing. Like, it was very cold. So my kids had their winter jackets on. The only reason we had our winter jackets is because it was like very cold here in the Northeast. We wore our winter jackets to the airport, and we had to walk walk. It's a short walk, but we had to walk from our car to the actual, like, into the airport. And I just could not let my kids not have their jackets. They had to have them. It was just too cold. So we brought our jackets with us, and I'm glad we did because we needed them that night. I didn't wear my winter jacket. I was in all my layers, but my kids had to wear their winter jackets. It was that cold once the sun went down. So make sure you check the weather before, because you can get weather that where it's like in the high 70s at night, or it could be in the high 50s. You just never know with Florida. My next tip, and this is a popular one, is to line up for the second parade. Oftentimes you will have families with children leaving before that. We are one of those families. We usually leave right around when the second parade is starting off, like in Frontierland. So we usually leave between like 10:30 and 11 for these parties since we've had kids. So there's definitely less people, and you definitely do not have to line up as early. Last year for the Halloween parade, we lined up on Main Street about an hour before. We had a really great spot. We were right there where Max and his Powerline outfit came out, which was great. We had a prime spot. But for the Christmas parade last year, we only lined up for the first parade about a half hour before, and our spot was not ideal. We even went to Frontierland, which is always less crowded. I mean, it's all crowded, but you don't have to line up as early in Frontierland as you do on Main Street. Like, I don't know, I'd say maybe you would line up an hour before for Main Street and like 45 minutes for Frontierland, but still, we got there maybe a half hour before and it was already so packed. So if your little ones can hang, I would suggest going to the second parade, or if you don't have little ones and you just want to go to the second parade, definitely hit up the second parade. But if you do go to the first parade, get there early, get a snack. Last year for the Halloween parade, John and I got our spot. John left, got us a few Mickey pretzels, and then we just hung out with the kids and ate our Mickey pretzels this way. It was like something for the kids to do. So my next tip is to focus on party exclusive events. In years past, lines for rides like Splash and Big Thunder Mountain would be like 5 minutes long. I remember going to the Christmas party all the way back in 2010, and we were able to walk onto any ride. The lines for the characters were much shorter. We waited for the Seven Dwarfs, which was like a 5 or 10 minute wait. We met Winnie the Pooh and Friends, and that was also like a 5-minute wait. It's just not like that anymore. Now the lines are longer and longer. Disney has increased the capacity for these parties. Like I said, back in 2010, like, they didn't have as many people, so you could do a lot more things. But now the capacity has increased. You can't do as much as you used to, so you definitely have to prioritize what you want to do. So do those party exclusive events. Check out the fireworks, check out the parades, check out the rare characters that are only out for the parties, check out the characters that are dressed in their Christmas outfits, like Santa Goofy. They also have a lot of party exclusive treats. They have party exclusive merchandise. So make sure you're checking out the things that are exclusive to the Christmas party, because you don't want to miss out by riding Splash, and you can ride Splash on another night. Don't forget to get your hot chocolate and your cookies. Again, things that are exclusive to the party. Now, the exception to this is there are party overlays. Things like the Jingle Cruise. Now, that's one I'd say you probably could skip because it's basically like the Jungle Cruise. But in years past, Mad Tea Party has had an overlay, Tomorrowland Speedway has had an overlay, and Monsters Inc. has had an overlay. The overlays are also different for the Halloween party. Like Pirates of the Caribbean and Space Mountain have overlays for the Halloween parties. So just ask the cast member which rides have the overlays, or check your guide map when you get there for the party, because these things can change from year to year. So my next tip is to prioritize what you want to do ahead of time. Now, depending on how many people you're going with, if you are a family of 4, go through what everybody wants to do and make sure you prioritize those 4 things first. If you can only do those 4 things and that's all you can get through, then at least everybody got to do their top choice. Because no matter what, there will be lines. There will be lines for characters. There will be lines for the parade, meaning you have to line up early for the parade. There will be lines for lining up for the firework. There will even be lines for getting special popcorn buckets or special merch, or even just special treats exclusive to the party. So make sure you talk with your family members or your friends or whoever you're going with, and you prioritize what everybody wants to do so that everybody at least leaves happy knowing they got to do their top choice. And my last tip is to prioritize getting a picture either in front of the castle, in front of the tree, wherever you want to take your picture. Get it before everybody is cranky. So last year I really wanted a picture in front of the castle in the hubgrass with my family, so that is what we did. We got our picture before we did anything. That was my number one thing that I wanted to do. Now that also goes along with my tip of prioritize what everybody wants to do, but I knew I had to get that picture before everybody was cranky. So we got it and I was so happy, and now I have that memory forever. So those are all of my tips for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. I hope you found some of them helpful. If you guys have any tips, please let me know in the comments down below. If you guys liked today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps support the channel. And if you're new and you like the content, please subscribe. I would love to have you. And if you made it to the end of this video, leave me a little Christmas tree emoji. And with that, I'll see you guys real soon. Bye!